fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Q's show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku. And well, in the last part, the finals for UA took place. Now, during the finals, Deku and Baku were on a team. And Deku, he discovered that if he hit All Might in a certain spot, All Might would actually react and weaken, you could say. Now, Deku did try to abuse this weakness, and basically, All Might, he had to force himself out of the fight, or throw it. Now, that made Deku and Baku look a lot better. All Might, however, yeah. If he didn't throw that fight, he would have had his secret be revealed, along with endangering his time limit for one for all. Now, with that being said, we did also actually have Deku. Whenever he went to go leave the day of the finals to head home, people encountered him. Somebody impersonated Ochako Yuraka, and she then stabbed Deku with a knife. Now, Deku was quite confused. This happening so suddenly he didn't expect. And well, because of the appearance of Ochako, yeah, it threw off his Vengola's super intuition, along with that it did actually mess with his mind. Now, Deku he did call Reborn, since these people, they gave Deku a warning. Now, Deku has yet to return back to the apartments. After it was found that he was stabbed, Deku called Reborn. And Reborn, yeah, let's just put it this way. About, 2 hours later, Deku, he would be in a place, as he is currently sitting in the back of a car, where a mafia doctor is actually looking over Deku's injury, as he does say that the wound is actually just by the kidney, and that Deku, yeah, he sealed it shut with fire. Not really much he can do. He could sew it up and give Deku things that can help. However, since, well, he wasn't expecting this, he can't use his quirk. Now, this man is a mafia doctor, and his specific quirk, whenever mixed with the right chemicals, can actually create antibiotics, or even if the worst case scenario, enhancers or, well, things people would want to buy and use. Now, Deku was quite surprised, and Reborn, yeah. He did just give this man at least some basic material, enough for him to make anesthesia, and he did actually bring a needle and thread. Now, as the man was sewing up Deku, there actually is Reborn's concern. The people who attacked him, they sound like they might be, well, enemies, or Deku's first step into the underworld. Now, he's quite aware that Deku, yeah, apparently he's going to have to face something before his trial, and he does need to contact Vengola 9, since that needs to be released early. Now, there actually is one of our Deku's familia. They would have arrived, about a few minutes later, or while Deku is still in the back of the car. Now, you have, well, everybody, who they're quite surprised over. Reborn, he does come out of the back seat and walk forwards, informing all of them that Izuku, he's quite alright right now. Right now he's under, or at least very well numbed, so he's gonna be a bit woozy and hazy. Now, everyone does understand, and there actually is where Kendo, she does ask if he is really alright. Why, yes, I believe he is. Are you sure? Did you see the injury? Was it too bad? Young Guardian of Rain. It's just a stab wound. He'll be quite alright. Now, everyone, they do take notice of the way Reborn did just say that. It's just a stab wound. Just a stab wound. You know, nothing to write home about. Now, Reborn, he does inform all of them. He would like to know where the Guardian Momo and where the Guardian Todoroki were at around this time. Now, both of them are quite confused, as Todoroki, he does talk about how he was heading back to his house, and Momo does talk about how she was at her home as well. She was currently studying and getting things prepped for the trip they will be taking soon. Now, they do ask as to why Reborn wants to know, and Reborn, he would express exactly what happened. Deku described that his attackers, they took on the appearance of Ochaku Yuraka. And not only did Deku encounter an ice wall, but he also did encounter illusions. Now, everyone does look at Todoroki and Momo, as Bakuya does actually bring up his hand and throw it up to where Todoroki's throat is, at least on the side, asking exactly what half and half was doing. Guardian of Sun Bakugo Katsuki, you need to drop your hand. But he hurt Izuku. He's the boss, and this goes against it, right? No. What he's saying is correct. Do you have anyone who could verify either one of your claims of being at home? No. Todoroki would just say his older sister. Well, Momo does talk about how a few members of the maid service, or the, well, staff at her house, they can verify that she was at home as well. And Bakugo, he does get to throw down his hand as, well, Reborn. He does get to speak about how he believes that they have encountered a rival familia. Now, this is quite a surprise. And yeah. Reborn, he does mean at least express to all of them exactly what's going to need to happen. Currently, he believes that Deku might have to undertake a trial. He currently is calling, or at least trying to get into contact with Vangola 9. While that is happening, each one of them, they need to at least begin to start processing and using their actual flames. Now, everyone does look at each other, as Reborn does talk about how he's going to call in some favors. And in the brief time they do have before this little trip, or you could call it, they all need to be prepared. Now, Reborn, he does get to walk back to the back of the car, where the doctor does talk about how he's done all he can for right now. However, as for the boy, there's no way he'll be able to move anytime soon, so his motorcycle is going to have to be left here. Now, you do actually have Kendo, who does get to step up, talking about how she knows how to drive it, and Reborn does go to look her direction, as he does go to reach into the back seat and grab the helmet, before leaning out the window and tossing it over to her, telling her that the keys are still on the bike. Now, Kendo does catch the helmet as she does go to look over at the bike, and she does know the situation. It really isn't the best time to be happy about this. Now, she does go to hop on the bike, as she does ask Mr. Reborn exactly what should she do when she does go to drop it off. And yeah, Reborn, he does express to her she's going to have to cover for the boss, and Izuku, he will follow suit. Now, the man he does go to get in the driver's seat, as Momo and everyone else are told to, at least for right now, make sure to be more careful. If they do notice anything, give the proper signals, or the proper code. Now, he does inform all of them that he'll send instructions for what they can do to improve their flames later. Now, Kendo, she does go to put on the helmet and go to drive away. As the man in the driver's seat, he does just go to follow Kendo. Now, we do actually have back at home, where Deku, he is laying in his bed. And he does go to sit up to find that he's in a black shirt. What the hell? Ow, fuck. Now, Deku does reach down his hand, as he does go pull up his shirt and see the area he was stabbed in. As he does quickly realize, he's at home and something happened. Okay, the last thing he remembers was meeting that guy. Then at least, well, a needle in his arm, and that's really about it. Everything started getting fuzzy. Now, Deku knows for a fact that he's at home. He's been patched up and he's, well, safe. Or at least as safe as he can be right now. Now, this is actually where Deku does going to stand up. And he does turn to see that there's a note along with some painkillers right next to his bed. As Deku does go to grab the bottle and then read the note. Reborn having the instructions on it telling him to take 2 of these, at least for pain. Now, Deku does go to pop 2 in his mouth as he does go to walk out of his room. As he does actually see that his mother and Kendo are actually talking. Now, Deku is quite surprised, as he does look at the situation. Deku walking up and asking exactly why Kendo is here. Oh, Asuku. Sorry, you should have told me you had a friend like her. A friend like her? Yeah. I mean, come on. This girl's in UA, right? Yeah, Mom, she is. And you won't believe it. Apparently you trained so hard after school you passed out. Apparently her father gave you a ride, and she took your bike back home. I didn't realize she could drive such a thing. Yeah, thanks, Kendo. Don't worry about it. Honestly, the bike is, well, fun to drive. I think I need to get one day. Yeah, sure. But, now, Deku's trying to think of something, as Inko does actually ask Kendo if she would like to stay for dinner. Now, Kendo does just stare at Izuku, as she's trying to think about what to do. This really isn't a good situation. Now, Deku, he can tell something's happening. He does want to speak with her a bit more, and at least express a few things, since, well, yeah. He feels like he can trust her. He can be free with some information. He likes being who he is now, and around her, he feels more that way. She's a good person to be around. Along with that, his intuition around her, it doesn't really feel as foggy. Now, Deku, he would at least give the okay, as he does invite her to stay with him, yeah. As they all do sit down to eat. And Kendo, yeah. Her nervous demeanor did actually quickly start to fade, as the conversation carried on and dinner carried on as well. As there is actually whenever Deku, he does go to walk Kendo out. And she does actually ask him if he's doing alright. Now, Deku and her are currently in the elevator. As Deku, he does express to her that he's doing perfectly fine. Are you sure though? I heard one of those people they impersonated. Yeah, it just messed with my head. Yeah, I guess it would, right? That Vangola super intuition thing? Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's what it is. It is a weird thing. Ever since I started getting more confident in myself, I've been able to feel it more, harness its power. I'm not too sure exactly, but I think it actually might be like a hidden quirk. At least that's how I like to think of it as. It makes me feel a bit better about myself. Hmm? Better? Yeah. I mean, I'm quirkless, remember? Oh, yeah, sorry. Honestly, you're kind of too strong for me to forget that. Really? Yeah. I mean, you do have to take the pills to use your power, but at the same time, it's cool. You know? Hmm? What do you mean? Well, I'm just saying. You show restraint. Now, Deku, he does just flash back to the USJ, where Shigaraki, he barely escaped death by that punch. Yeah, I wouldn't say I show restraint. But you do. I don't. I don't think you... Kendo, I don't think you understand. Yeah. Kendo, she actually does take a step back, as Deku does turn to her and inform her that he isn't strong enough. Yeah. He does go moving forwards. And he does go to bring his hand up and slam it on the wall, telling her that he almost killed a guy during the USJ. Along with that, because of him, 2 people died. He doesn't feel like he's strong enough because he failed. He offered up his life, and even then, the bastard still killed them. Now, Kendo just stare at Deku. There's that look in his eyes. And, well, it's kind of frightening. But at the same time, she can see it. That's, well, bloodlust, isn't it? That's an urge to kill. She's seen that look in movies, and even in some actual trained swordsmen, ones who are known to be deadly. Now, she'll just bring up her hands and go to, well, smack Deku on the face with both of them. And she'll just tell him to calm down. Hmm? Kendo, sorry, I just lost my cool there. Don't worry about it. Besides, I can kind of understand. Hmm? You lost your cool. I mean, you're holding yourself responsible, but it's the villains. Hmm? I mean, yes, but still, it's our job to. It's not our job to stop them. Hmm? We can stop them because we're the good guys. Now, Deku does look at Kendo. Yeah, the good guys. Hmm? Come on, don't say it like that. Now, Kendo she does just turn Deku's face back towards her, talking about how they aren't bad people. They're good people who can do bad things. Remember that. Isn't that what the Mafia originally was? Now, Deku does look at her, as he does remember one of Reborn's speeches whenever he did recruit all of them, talking about how the Vengola Familia originally formed to protect people, like a hero association, before heroes. Now, Deku he does do one simple thing. His intuition is telling him that he's right. His gut is telling him he's right. As Deku does just go to bring up his hand and lean in a bit, as he does kiss Kendo. Now, there actually is whenever the elevator door does go to open, and Deku he does go to bring his hand off of the wall and go to step back, as Kendo she does still have her hands up, and her face does start to turn red. Uh, sorry, did I misread that? Uh, no. Uh, it's just I didn't know you. It's just I didn't realize you. Uh, now, she she's just going to bring her hand up and cover her mouth, as she's going to turn and go to run off. And Deku to just think, fuck. Now, the elevator door does close, as Deku does just go to bring his hand up and press a button. Shit, did I make the wrong choice? Now, there is going over the top of the elevator does go to open. And Reborn, he does come falling out of the top, as he does go to say the following words. Well, he was wondering when that would finally happen. Reborn? Yes. Anyways, how long were you in there, or up there? The whole time. Oh. Okay, but what's up? Okay, well, I'm going to ignore that. We'll speak about that later. For right now, I believe that it would be appropriate to give you some information. Okay, information? Yes. I believe that a mafia family that is, at least in Japan, may be behind the recent attack against you. Really? Yes. The family in question, however, they've gone underground. And in fact, they've changed up their MOs over time. In fact, the last time they did appear was sometime over... I believe it was 10 years ago. Really? Yes, however, this familia, they've gone over many changes. They've gained supporters, they've lost supporters, and recently they're actually getting more active. I've somewhat been able to trace them back to a certain point. However, the likelihood is impossible. Likelihood? Yes. The name Shigaraki does ring a bell to you, yes? Yeah, it does. Okay, perfect. Because the person in charge of this familia is called Shigaraki. Wait, are you telling me that guy who attacked? Oh, no, not that one. If I know correctly, my people tell me that was Tomura Shigaraki. Tomura? Yes. However, it's strange. Records show no, birth certificate of that man. So it's a fake name. Possibly. However, we have found a Tomura Shimura. Shimura? Yes. And there's something interesting there. Now, he does continue explaining. The man in charge, people gave him a name once. And his last public appearance, it has been long. Now, Reborn, he does mean to start telling Izuku about All for One. However, he didn't say that exact name. Now, he does ask Izuku if he believes in the ability to take and give quirks. And Deku does just stare at Reborn kind of surprised. That sounds impossible. Reborn just looking at Deku, as Deku just does shut his mouth for a second. He really shouldn't have said that. I mean, it's just, I've never heard of a quirk that allows you to take a quirk. Exactly. That is why he was mostly feared. If people didn't submit to him, they had their quirks taken. And people who were loyal to him, he would give quirks to. Really? Yes. However, that does bring me to my next thing. These quirks he does take and give. He keeps the best ones to himself. Along with that, there is actually how long ago he started his organization. How long ago? Yes. He started his organization somewhere over 200 years ago. Now, Deku's stunned by the information. 200? Yes. However, it might be more appropriate to say he may be close to 300. Oh my god. Yes, that's just the thing. It's not recorded whether or not he has had descendants. So it's only right for us to assume this is the same man. You can't be serious. Very much. Now, that is all the information I believe we have on the man. And I believe one of his subordinates may have attacked you. Oh, that's very bad. Yes, it is. Now, I believe that you should return to business as usual. And if your intuition does tell you something next time, don't hesitate to attack. Do you understand? Hmm? Of course, Reborn, Izuku Midoriya. Now, Deku's spine doesn't immediately shoot straight. As Reborn, he does look a lot more serious. With intent to kill. Now, that phrase Deku does here. Yeah. That just somewhat scared him. It made his spine jump a bit. With intent to kill. Now, Deku's idea of revenge against Shigaraki, it does actually quickly come full circle. He intend to kill. There's a way he said that phrase, and the way Deku thought of it. It's like they're two different things. Deku, he's thinking about a possibility. Reborn's thinking of a likelihood. So, it does somewhat frighten him a bit. Now, Reborn, he does go to leave. As Deku, he does head back to his home and try to think about everything. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. We'll catch you guys in the next part.